Alrighty, so everything has been rendered, and I've just thrown together a quick slap comp where I'm just taking the background, putting the characters over that, putting the beams over them, and then just rendered all that together. So let's take a look at this image sequence. And I think that is looking pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. We have a great animation. I think that there's a lot of great interaction between these beams. Yeah. So it's not perfect. The lighting can use a bit of tweaking. The background needs to be rendered with subdivisions. But I really like the light interaction. I like the beam interaction. I like the splash. I think the shock wave looks cool. I think that it probably needs to dissipate a bit sooner, but that is something that can easily be done in comp. So I think the next step for me, just to take this all the way, is that I'm going to take a camera and I'm going to make it a little bit more action oriented. Right now I said that I called the camera action cam. This is a static cam, but it just captured the action. But I want to make something that's a little bit more cinematic. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time taking a camera, sweeping it around these characters to truly capture the action. And I might rearrange the mountains a bit just to make sure it works in frame here, but I'm going to add some to the left and right so that when the camera swivels around, you'll not just see an empty void. But that's something that I'm going to do on my own. This is as far as the beams go, there's really not much else to do. But I think since we've put all this time into it, I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to add a new cam, and then I'm going to potentially comp that and add a few bells and whistles, maybe some glows, some glints, things like that. But first I'm going to work on the cam, and we'll see how that looks. So I will stop back for you immediately, for me in a little while, as I get more renders out and a new cam. So see ya in a bit. So I got the renders out. I got a little slap comp going. I changed the lighting, as you can see. You can see that I also have this rendered with subdivisions, so it's not pointy, doesn't have any jagged edges on it. So let's run through it. So you can see that this is much more cinematic, has a nice little sweeping action. So I think this is looking really, really cool. There's a few things that I'd like for it. I'd like to alter the colors a little bit. I want to add a sky, and I want to just add a few more bells and whistles. So now that I have the camera in a really good spot, the lighting good to go, I'm just going to add a bit more. So I'm going to mess with that, and then I will check back once that's done. So here we have the final render. And you can see up in the top, I added a sky, just put an image on a dome and project it onto that. And I'm just going to play it for y'all. And there we have it. So I've added some glows, some glints, added a sky, made the lighting a bit better, changed the color of the beam just a little bit from the fuchsia to the more blue, and changed the gold of the hero beam to be a little bit desatted. But all I'm doing is working with the elements that we rendered out. And so I think this is looking great. And I hope you do too, because you are now very much able to create something exactly like this. I couldn't have done this tutorial without my friend Delano Athias. He rigged and animated the models you see here. He's super talented and also has a tutorial out on Max Depth TV called Python-Driven Curve Animation. The information found in it is extremely helpful for animation. You can check out more of his work at his Twitter, which I've linked to the side here. And the models were made by Maria Carrieto. You should check more of her work out at her art station, which I've linked below. She's got some amazing work, and her models really helped to elevate this tutorial. I'd also like to thank my buddy Anthony Castro, who gave me a lot of advice on how to composite this final image sequence you see. He's a top-notch compositor, and you can check out his work at his website, which I've linked here for you. And my last shout out goes to Tim Hansen, who runs MaxDepth.tv. The time and effort he puts into creating both his tutorials and the network that allows us to bring these to you is astounding. So with that, I'd say that's a wrap for this tutorial. So, hope you guys had fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing all the beams you guys create. If you make them, just share them. I'd love to see them. So, I guess with that, I'd say, just remember, stay classy. See ya.